Welcome to another new episode of the Get Organised with Declutter Me podcast with myself, Shalina. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. Today, we're going to be talking about decluttering your creative digital files, something we all need to do, but so often put off. Whether you're a designer, an artist, a writer, a crafter, or just someone with a creative mind and a cluttered digital space, this episode is going to help you so much. Because just like physical clutter, it affects your ability to think and work clearly. Digital clutter does the same. If your desktop is chaos, your cloud is full, your phone is bursting with files, and you can't find anything when you need it, it drains your time and energy. And worse, it can stop you from creating altogether. I know many of you work on multiple projects at once, maybe across different devices. You might store files in Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud, a hard drive, your laptop, your phone. It all adds up. And then there's the apps. Canva, Lightroom, Photoshop, Notion, Trello. There's so many. Each app ends up holding different things and it becomes really messy really quickly. So let me sort it out with you today using my favorite method, the FAT method. File, act, and toss. This system works across all devices, platforms, and creative professions. Whether you're sorting through your design files, your ebooks, your voice recordings, your photos, your notes, FAT gives you a clear way to make decisions. F, the FAT, that stands for file. This is for anything you want to keep. These are the important files, the completed work, the assets you reuse, the templates you created, the courses you bought and still refer to. Set up a structure that works for you. I recommend starting broad, then narrowing it down. So first do it by type, so admin, project, clients, templates, invoices, marketing. Then by year or by client. For visuals, use subfolders like logos, campaigns, portfolio, social posts. And for audio, video creators, split it into raw files, edited files, and published content. Remember, if you can't find it later, it's not filed properly, so you have to be consistent with your naming. Avoid things like final version 4, or what did I see recently? I saw a lot of files and it was the same words and same names. I'm like, how can you find anything? So instead, do something like client name / social post / date / version 1, version 2, etc. What I do as well, I do it by date. So I do like 2025, 05, 25, the client name, the type of document, and then version 1, version 2, whatever. So it makes it easy to access it and make it a clear title of what the actual document is instead of just like version 1 of this document instead of it's a template or it's a contract or it's terms and conditions. The next thing is A, and that's for act. These are your in-progress items. These are things that still need something from you. That could mean editing, uploading, reviewing, or just finishing. And these go into clearly marked folder or space. Usually for when I'm using FAT, file, act, and toss, when it's for emails, it's something that I say that you are going to do within 5 minutes. But when it's a bigger document, a bigger project, it could be something that you have to put into a clearly marked folder or space because you're going to act on it. So you can use a folder called Work in Progress or WIP, not WAP. We don't want to WAP. You could have a folder for your emails and label it as actionable messages or messages you have to work on. On your phone or your tablet, you can keep it separate notes folder for current projects. Once done, you move it to the file or the toss. Don't let your in progress area become a digital dumping ground. Next is toss, the T. So be honest, you're never going to use that screenshot from 2018 or those 10 slightly different versions of one photo shoot. Toss anything you don't need that's outdated, unclear, unnamed, that you've never finished or no longer need, that you duplicated by accident, that you saved just in case, but never looked at again. And all those millions of screenshots that are on your desktop, you know you have them. You're not being wasteful. You're creating space to work clearly and to make your computer work faster because it's taking up all that space with all that memories and stuff. So now let's get even deeper with my tips. First, let's talk again about creating a naming system for your creative files. This is so important, and that's why I'm reiterating it, because I have seen so many places where files are just randomly named or called the same thing over and over again. So decide on a naming format and stick to it. You can even make a Word document or a note saying what your naming format's going to be. So it could be like project name dash type dash date or client name dash task dash version. And I can't say dash and something else at the same time. Use your underscores or dashes. Avoid random strings of letters and numbers. This makes it so much easier to search for something. 2, store things where you work. So if you use Canva every day, store your templates and designs in a folder there. If you use your iPad for design, keep your files in a synced folder like Dropbox or iCloud. Don't bounce your files across devices unless you need to. Keep it centralized where possible. And also, it makes it so much easier to locate the documents if they're on a cloud. So I have a Google Drive and an iCloud, and I can access the documents between my computers, between my phones so easily when I need to. Don't forget about the mobile clutter. So go through your voice memos, especially creatives who record ideas. Clear out the camera roll and notes app. So I do that every day, and I have talked about this before, and I'm going to link it to the episode about what to do with your photos. But yeah, do it every day. Like every day you taken photos, just go through it while you're sitting on the couch watching something bad on Netflix, and just delete the duplicates or the ones that you don't need or don't use or the screenshots you took. Also do the same on clearing out your notes app because you don't need all those notes. Delete old WhatsApp images and audio clips and those duplicate downloads as well that you then put onto camera roll. Next, let's talk about your iCloud storage or your cloud storage. Cloud services make us lazy. We save everything everywhere, but those GBs cost you money and can create chaos. So audit your Google Drive, your OneDrive, and your iCloud. Look at the shared folders. Do you still need access? Remove the duplicates. Archive inactive client folders into compressed files. Next, tidy your creative apps. So in Canva, group designs by client or theme. In Lightroom, delete failed imports or blurry shots. In Notion or Trello, archive completed boards. Next, review your plugins and digital tools. And now this is very important, and I don't do this enough. Designers, photographers, and writers, you love the tools, but they pile up. So check your browser extensions, your Photoshop plugins, your Procreate brushes. Remove anything that you don't use and uninstall software you haven't opened in 6 months. Next, I want you to do a calendar cleanup. So yes, even your calendar can get cluttered. So cancel recurring meetings you no longer attend. Remove those old reminders and color code the current projects and deadlines so it makes it easy for you to locate what you want to find in less than 5 seconds. Next, create a creative dashboard. So this is setting up a digital dashboard where everything lives. You can use a Notion board with links to all your folders and tools, a desktop folder with shortcuts to each platform or system you use, a Trello board where you can track content, design, or writing work. Next, think about automating where you can. So use Zapier or automation apps to move email attachments to Google Drive, back up your designs weekly, and send photos to the right folder. Next, create an archive. So don't delete your best work, even if it's old. Keep a highlights folder with your favorite or proudest pieces. You'll thank yourself when you need a portfolio sample or just want to look back of how far you've come. And as always, finish with maintenance. Book time in your calendar weekly or monthly to do a quick fat scan. Just 15 minutes of file at toss, like a mini declutter. Just 15 or 20 minutes. So that's your creative digital decluttering guide using the FAT method. It's not about perfection. It's about clarity, simplicity, and making your digital world support your creativity, not stifle it. Thank you so much for listening to the Get Organised with Declutter Me podcast. If this has helped you, share it with your fellow creative. Tag me at Declutter Me on Instagram or any of my other social media platforms, or let me know what file you finally tossed this week. Thank you so much again, and take care. I'll speak to you next week. Bye.